Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me again. We're in Camp La Mirada, and today we'll be discussing something that's very real, especially in beginners, and that's gym intimidation. Many people are frightened to death in walking into a gym. Many people are frightened about working out as a whole. According to the CDC in 2018, an article was published in which we found that less than a quarter of Americans are currently meeting the standards, the guidelines for aerobic and anaerobic exercise. To add more to the flame, add more to the fire, it turns out that about 90% of high school students aren't partaking in anything regarding physical activity, physical exercise. And that's a problem. And we know it's a problem because with lack of exercise usually comes a poor diet. With a poor diet and a lack of exercise, that's the perfect equation for diseases. That's obesity and many other more. So we can't act like this isn't a problem. I think a big reason why people don't want to work out or step into a gym is because they're intimidated. So we'll see a few examples of how people are intimidated, but more importantly, how to work around that intimidation and get you inside the gym and get you working out, because nobody can deny, nobody can say that you don't need exercise and a healthy lifestyle. So let's move on and let's see a few examples. A big reason why many people are intimidated of walking into a gym, or exercising for that matter, is because they fear looking like a fool. And I think we can relate to that. That's very understandable, because many of us have been in situations where our flaws have been exposed, and it's not the prettiest situation to be in. No one likes doing things that we're not good at. For a beginner, walking into a gym is already a frightening experience because they're seeing a multitude of things happening at the same time that they have no idea how to go about. For example, a beginner sees an exercise machine and doesn't know what it's for, doesn't know how to perform it. They see a bunch of people doing exercise and they're thinking, well, I'm never going to be able to do that. But we need to take a step back, those of us that are intimidated or beginners, and understand that no one starts off as an expert in any field. No one is an expert at first. Everyone starts off somewhere. And we need to understand this. It's very important that we understand this, as cliche as it may be, right? No one is an expert at first. And that person that you may consider to be advanced or consider to be an expert will personally tell you that they're indeed not an expert, because there's always something to learn. And that's applicable in any field, especially with exercise. You can approach anyone who's been exercising for years and they'll tell you the same thing. They're not experts because there's always something to learn. Now, if you're feeling intimidated by walking into a gym, or feeling intimidated with exercise in general, my advice to you is to approach someone that knows what they're doing. Approach a trainer, or approach that gym employee, wherever you're training, whatever gym you're currently enrolled in, and ask them for help. Because believe me, as a trainer, these questions, what is this exercise for? What am I doing? Why am I doing it this way? What am I supposed to be feeling? Is music to our ears. Believe me, these are not questions that bother the trainer. These are questions that make our job more interesting and worthwhile. So don't think you're a fool by asking questions. Don't think you're a fool by learning exercise. No one's a fool by learning anything. So get that out of your head. Okay, and if you're not finding this help with your trainer, if you're not finding this help in your gym, then you need to get out of there and stop wasting your time and money. All right, another reason why many people are intimidated by the gym or exercising is because they feel like all eyes are on them. And my solution to this, my response to this claim is actually very straightforward, and I mean it with no disrespect. As a beginner, no one is looking at you but the trainer, believe me. There's nothing exciting about looking at something basic. Once again, this is no disrespect to the beginner. Basic doesn't mean bad in this case. As a beginner, you're focusing on basic exercises. You're learning the basics. No one is interested at looking at something basic. If you had a Ferrari in front of you and a Volkswagen Beetle next to it, your attention would clearly be on the Ferrari, not on the Volkswagen Beetle. And it's the same thing. No one at the gym is looking at you. Everyone is focused looking at that person that's doing, these huge lifts and doing these acrobatic stunts. These are the people that are being looked at, if anything, because people are in the gym to focus on themselves. They're not there to look at other people, guys. So don't feel like all eyes are on you. They're not. These people clearly aren't paying attention to you. Why should you give them that attention as well? Focus on yourself. That's all you have to be worrying about. You're not that important, in the good sense. Finally, the last reason why many people feel intimidated of walking into a gym or training, exercising, is because they don't feel comfortable in their own skin with the people that are surrounding them. In a gym, you're gonna find very fit people. You're gonna find very strong people, very muscular people. And that sometimes makes you feel like you don't belong. Because if you're not playing the role, well, then it makes you feel like you have no place there. But that boils my blood. And that's very annoying, actually, because too many times we look at the superficial and we only see the end result. We don't see the amount of work it took that person to get to where they're at. And that's very unfair to you as well, because that's stealing you from the opportunity of achieving what they have. No one was born that way. Maybe they were dealt a better genetic hand than you were. Maybe they got more lucky in the genetic lottery. But that doesn't mean that you're doomed. And that's not a good excuse for you to huddle up in a corner and blame your genetics and play the victim. Okay? Because you can get there. It's just a matter of work. Studies have shown that the major factor of your body type is going to be your lifestyle. It's how you eat, it's how you train. It's not necessarily your genetics. And although that does play a role, that's not the determining factor here. So focus on what you can change. Fortunately, you were asked out of luck with your genetics, if that's the case, but that doesn't mean you're doomed. You can still work and you can still achieve a great physique. So don't worry about these people. Focus on yourself, guys. That's all you have to be doing. No intimidation, everyone. That's all for today, everyone. Thanks for joining me again, as always. If you liked the video, if it was of some use, like the video, comment, share, and don't forget to follow the Pragmathletics page as well. If you're intimidated, hopefully these videos that I've been uploading are of some use to you and can shake you off of that intimidation and get you inside the gym, get you working out, because trust me, you need it and you deserve it as well. Thanks again, and catch you guys next time.